Let's begin with taking a look at how commodities performed. Brent crude came in at a price of $79.13 and a positive change of 2.22%. WTI crude came in at a price of $73.58 with a positive change of 2.17%. Natural gas is up at a price of $3.22 and a change of 3.84%. And lastly is RBOG gasoline up at a price of $2.14 and a change of 1.57%. All this as at 4:05 GMT. To the Nigerian market now, the bulls take control again with a strong close of the week. As a result, NGX All Share Index settled higher at 83,042.96. The gains in M-Benefit, Sun Assurance and Ikeja Hotels sustained the NGX main index in yesterday's trading session with a deal of 11,697, volume of 600.63 million and equity capitalization of 45.44 trillion naira. Let's now take a look at the markets in Europe performed as at Friday, 12th January, where we saw a positive clean sweep where the Euro Stoxx 600 closed at an all-share index of 476, 0.30 up 0.75%. London FTSE all in the all green at an all-share index of 7,624.81 and up by 0.64%. The markets in Germany saw the DAX close at 16,676.06, up by 0.78%, while the CAC 40 in Paris ended the week at 7,449.12, up by 0.83%. And finally, the IBEX 35 closed at 0.82 with an all-share index of 10,087.20, being the last market closing in the positive as at 4:13 GMT on Friday. Finally, now to Wall Street. Let's take a look at how that performed. Let's now take you to our top stories for the week. The U.S. securities regulator on Wednesday approved the first U.S.-listed exchange-traded funds to track Bitcoin in a watershed for the world's largest cryptocurrency and broader crypto industry. The Securities and Exchange Commission said it approved 11 applications, including from BlackRock, ARK Investments, Fidelity, and Invesco, despite warnings from some officials and investor advocates that the products carried risk. A decade in the making, the ETFs are a game changer for Bitcoin, offering investors exposure to the world's largest cryptocurrency without directly holding it. They provide a major boost for a crypto industry beset by scandals. Now, Google, a division of Alphabet, announced on Wednesday that it's continuing to reduce expenses by laying off hundreds of workers across many divisions. Fitbit co-founders James Park and Eric Friedman are also departing the firm. Google declared that it will be laying off hundreds of employees at its voice assistant division and eliminating several hundred positions in the hardware team, which is in charge of Pixel, Nest, and Fitbit. The bulk of the layoffs will be effected in the augmented reality team, and the search giant warned that hundreds of positions in its central technical team are also affected. Tesco has increased its profit guidance following better than expected Christmas sales due to exceptionally strong fresh food sale volumes. The news comes as Tesco released its Q3 and Christmas trading statement on Thursday. The period covers the 13 weeks to the 25th of November, while Christmas sales refer to the 6 weeks up to 6th of January 2024. The supermarket chain reported strong Christmas sales following price cuts on almost 2,700 products. This was primarily due to exceptionally robust fresh food sales, which saw particularly strong volumes. Now in Nigeria, the Dangote refinery has started production and its products are expected in the market in a few days. The refinery has the capacity to refine 650,000 barrels of crude per day. In past weeks, it has delivered 6 million barrels of crude oil preparatory to the commencement of production. It is Africa's biggest oil refinery and the world's biggest single-train facility. The pipeline infrastructure of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery is the largest anywhere in the world, with 1,100 kilometers to handle 3 billion standard cubic feet of gas per day. The refinery will meet 100% of the Nigerian requirements of all refined products and also have a surplus for each of the products for export. Now, a few hours after dissolving the board of directors governing Polaris, Union and Keystone banks respectively, the Central Bank of Nigeria has appointed new executive directors to oversee the affairs of the deposit money banks. The Apex Bank, in a statement signed by the acting director of corporate communications, Sidi Hakama, stated that the appointment takes immediate effect. According to the statement, yesterday only the first female CEO of the Standard Chartered Bank in Sierra Leone has been appointed as Chief Executive Officer of Union Bank, while Mani Ubali Ringim has been appointed as Executive Director of the Tier 2 Bank. Meanwhile, through a number of deposit money banks, the Central Bank of Nigeria reports that it has paid out $61.64 million to international airlines. In a statement released on Sunday, the CBN's acting director of corporate communications, Hakama Sidi Ali, stated that the payment fulfilled the bank's pledge to clear the DMB backlog of unpaid matured foreign exchange. According to Sidi Ali, the measure was a component of the CBN's attempts to lessen its outstanding debt to the airlines. She stated that the CBN has also redeemed outstanding forward obligations totaling over $2 billion in the previous 3 months. Now, the world's biggest mining project, a $20 billion iron ore rail and port development in a remote corner of West Africa, is expected to kick off this year after a 27-year wait beset with setbacks, scandals, and several false dawns. UK-listed Rio Tinto first secured an exploration license in the Simandu Mountains in southeastern Guinea, 550 kilometers from the coastal capital, in 1997. Since then, the country of 13 million people has had 2 coups d'etats, 4 heads of state, and 3 presidential elections. Finally, in 2024, once Rio Tinto's state-owned Chinese partners received the last approval from Beijing, the Anglo-Australian miner intends to fire the starting gun on the most complex project in its history. Now, United and Alaska Airlines both reported that loose hardware have been discovered on some of their Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes during preliminary inspections after a dramatic mid-flight incident last week. The disclosures come as U.S. federal transportation inspectors probe what caused a door plug component to fall off mid-flight last Friday on an Alaska airline passenger plane, forcing it to make an emergency landing. United declared on Monday that it had found instances that appeared to relate to installation issues in the door plug. Cuba's cash-strapped government has announced that fuel prices will soar more than 500% beginning in February as part of a series of economic measures aimed at reducing the deficit. The cost of a liter of regular gasoline will rise from 25 to 132 pesos, while the price of premium gasoline will jump from 30 to 156 pesos. Authorities also say tourists will pay for fuel in foreign currency. Cuba's government, which subsidizes almost all essential goods and services, announced a series of measures in late December aimed at cutting the deficit at a time of severe economic crisis across the country. Argentina and the IMF announced an agreement at the technical level, subject to the approval of the IMF board for the disbursement of $4.7 billion to the South American country under its credit program with the financial institution. Now, TikTok owner ByteDance is in talks with buyers, including China's tech giant Tencent, to sell its gaming arm as it seeks to shed once promising assets in the highly competitive sector. The discussions will see the firm sell Nuverse, a video game publisher, which is a subsidiary of Beijing-based ByteDance. Nuverse was once viewed by the firm as a vital component in its bid to catch up with Tencent, a leader in the global gaming industry and one of China's largest media conglomerates. The development comes after ByteDance made sweeping reductions to its gaming division last November, including a round of layoffs cutting hundreds of jobs. Well, that's it for the Markets and Business Update.